Hasn't been a great win rate so far at this event, but you think about Split, so many choke points that you want to burst out of with utility, and Vito's great for stopping you.
Yeah, I think it can be good. I think off the top of my head, I'd look at Ninetails comp and say I prefer it, but just off the fact that I think that Viper is so good at sort of like controlling that mid position, and I feel like it's difficult to beat, especially on the defense, and also all the sort of space you can take elsewhere. But I'm interested to see what they've got. That's not a bad start. Gone already. An opening pick, and there are a lot of players waiting in heaven.
A big battle off the back of the paranoia, but now one fired back in the other direction. Already damage coming in from Ninetails as they take a triple on Sam Semi. But look at the HP, Ever and Haste, so low.
They're going all the way back.
This Ghost could easily make them into Phantoms, but they're nowhere to be seen. They ran back towards this B site. The plant should be found, and Khan should have a difficult retake. One thing just to note as well, I like already what we're seeing from Ninetails. That wall here in the pistol, just to allow them to siphon into the A side if you're playing further back around screens, like playing the information game. Obviously, though, the one downside is they got caught early.
Oh, timing here is going to be everything. If she gets this right, it could be the backstab that wins the round, but gets it wrong, and it could be what loses them the round. The high HP player with an opportunity, and that's the opportunity, but fair enough, never mind. Count me wrong. Ever will win the fight on her own, and Haste, well, she was very far behind, but it didn't matter in the end. Ninetails, after what was an opening pick in their opponent's favor, have managed to convert that pistol off the back of 3-3-2.
Well, yeah, I mean, it really was. 3-3-2, Sam Sami in there with the triple to open things up, that turned this into their favor. Look how much damage had been done, as we said. Left in that 1v2, yet still Zipto's player, Khan, had more HP. And without a big performance like that, it would have went the other way. Pistol round, but we've seen the second rounds, I feel like, not even just in this matchup, but in this tournament, be a lot more difficult to convert than what, I suppose, historically is represented. We'll see if Zipto can throw a spanner in the works. They have gone for the Marshall, but that is on middle, along with the majority of the squad, leaving only one in the form of Khan, and make that none.
Yeah, flank coming, but it's okay. I was going to say it's going to be met with a wall, but it's not. It's going to be met by 3-3-2 instead. Looking to try and farm up those orbs. Has not farmed up the orbs. In fact, has somewhat delivered a gun, but it's going to be Yuumi sectioned off from the team. Eventually, they'll look to now group up together. That gun has been taken by Graham. Still utility. Nice shot from Full Moon, but it's going to be the trade back. It's getting a little bit dicey. Very costly at least, but eventually Dana is there on her feet once again. And sure, they'll lose a gun or two, but they've converted the round at least.
Yeah, and in the end, being able to carry forward the Vandal, the Bulldog as well, it's something. But yeah, I think Zipto can be very happy with the amount of damage that they got. And it very much does come down to that. You know, if that's one of the players with the pistol, fair enough. But going down there, there's no chance your teammate goes forward to get that rifle. I mean, they could have tried, but the player on the other side, I think it was capricious.
Coaches are happy, it's all good.
Down. Probably more so with how it ended after the bump in the road. For Ninetails, decently strong buy coming into this one. Still a fair bit of credits in the back pocket. Only Full Moon that has a real weak, well, actually, Full Moon has a stronger weapon, I think, than Ever does. Oh, that's a nice dive by Dana. A nice spray by Ever. Even with the Stinger able to get that done on medium range. And Ninetails are in a 5v3.
The opener from Dana was good, but you could see there was an attempted recovery from Zipto, and that attempted recovery ended up toppling a second domino. Okay, well, TP, but I think that has almost definitely been noted. And yep, the Haste has immediately gone in and just obliterated Piety on the other side. Khan with a chance, but Full Moon just better. And now only one standing. A nice attempt! Oh, Yuumi! That was impressive. Very impressive. But it doesn't matter. The round has still gone the other way. Can we get the coaches up again? I want to see if they're still as chill after that one.
Yeah, that was another what seemed to be wide margin that comes down to a nail biter. I mean, the fact that Yuumi, we highlighted this, you know, in the previous map that like, oh, Yuumi looks so much more comfortable now. The waylay really suiting her, especially in the first half. This is ridiculous, though. Nothing to do with the agent in play. That's all just aim as the Guardian fired off. But again, yeah, it amounts to next to nothing. The economy is fine for Ninetails. And more importantly, this is their chance to really build up an economic advantage. They're up against pistols, 4 of which are sheriffs. They've lost to that before. Zipto also have a big old rocket launcher in the back pocket thanks to Yuumi making that big play. And that's, I suppose, where the impact could be found of that play in the previous round.
But they also love using their ultimates in a low buy round. Yeah. I think that's been a big characteristic of Zipto, which, I'll be honest, I've not been a massive fan of, because I don't think the success has really been there too often. But I can understand when the moment arises, they believe that they can turn around. The problem is, 5 of them are on A, and 4 of the attackers are currently going towards B. So odds are this is not going to be their round.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to do it when you make that stack and they run into you. It's another thing entirely when it comes down to playing the retake. But again, you go towards the B site, you play out of heaven, you fire the showstopper, you can grab one, but in order for... No, you're not gonna pop the ult now, they're eco. There they are, my goodness. But the thing for Zipto is they want to pick or two, I'd imagine. I would be very surprised if they just come in leading with that showstopper, and if they do, there'll be an immediate response from Dana, I'd imagine.
I'm a little surprised.
My ult's ready.
Right, they've gone push it, and well, there you go. It's going to be a clean-up for Haste. I guess clearly wanting to make sure this is a cleaner round than some of the previous. They lost a few players in the late, so they were happy to commit that convergence path with the potential to maybe build up other ults in the process. Maybe that was the goal. I guess as well, if you expect, maybe the expectation there was they're all just going to die to the spike. And we want those orbs on an ult that maybe will have more impact. Maybe they want to get the Dimension Drift online. Maybe they want to get the Steel Garden online. Just don't know if the From the Shadows was the one I would have gone for, but hey, who knows? Maybe Haste has got a set play I've never seen before. They won't mind too much. They're 4-0, economy booming, and we're waiting to see if Zipto have any form of response or if we've gone right back to Pearl.
Who's next?
Well, the ult will be popped right off. Rip from Sammy straight into heaven. From the shadows, the backside, and in amongst the chaos, Dana just takes a free pick, but they haven't spotted Piety. Unfortunately, nothing will come of it. Nothing beyond a sliver of health being removed from, I think it was Dana. Everyone else in a very healthy position. And a 5 versus 3 where, again, Zipto, they have an AWP, they have a showstopper that I can't see them investing because it would be both committed, essentially, if your AWP is diving in with a rocket launcher. And even if it finds a double kill, they're still on even footing. If they find a pick or two, it's different. And I see Full Moon going up towards heaven, but the timing is perfect. That's the AWP down, and they've given it up. That huge investment. The operator, the 2 rifles, while their players have put their credits down to flat balances, and they lose it for nothing. I'm not surprised there's a timeout from Zipto. 5-0 down, especially with a round like that, you've got to go back to the drawing board. This is tournament life on the line.
Yeah, they're getting blitzed as well. Like it feels like some of it's a little bit whiffy, but a lot of it is just they are really struggling to deal with the combos on the other side. The sheer level of aggression that's coming through from Dana in 3-3-2. They have been phenomenal. Like, bear in mind, Dana's been diving in first every single round. She's died once. Like that shouldn't be happening. Like, she can get out of there, but she hasn't been. Like, that's the damning factor. She's been taking the space, she's been keeping the space, and she's normally been finding frags on the other side. Coach again. Hopefully some wise words to be had, but once more, the economy is not really going to hold up for Zipto. And as we've seen, once Ninetails seem to get that momentum in their favor, that confidence, they have been nigh on unstoppable. Sure, they don't have too many ults to play with. That's probably where the major advantage could come into this round for Zipto, with 3 ults, 1 away, and 2 ults already online, including that showstopper. But it is finding the situation to use them. And when they've lost the opening kill seemingly every time, I think maybe bar one, it doesn't really matter that much.
Ninetails coming in with the double dive. Seems to have worked wonders for them at the moment. There was big commitments from them in the previous round in terms of ultimates, but the reality is, for their opponents, being now left onto Sheriffs, that was the perfect time to use them. A big swing round that hasn't swung anything in Zipto's favor. Dana already in. Player up top, though. Could have a freebie. Capricious in with a chance. It's Khan to find it down below. They don't know about Capricious either. Flying under the radar. Up high is Khan and Capricious combined deliver what could be Zipto's first round on such a weak investment. That's a huge catch by Haste, but more is needed. And on 40 HP, even the Sheriff is deadly. The body shot needed, but the head connected by Capricious gives a MasterCard thrifty to Zipto.
He might be the greatest coach of all time. Like, I'm genuinely starting to believe. That's the second time that we've seen that in 2 maps where the coach of Zipto, Sia, has taken a pause and then they've won an eco round. Like, that genuinely is nuts. And well, I think a lot of it is Capricious alongside Con being able to do magnificent work with what is a light buy. The fact is, though, this needs to be the start of something. The last time we saw them play this map, it was a strong defensive half. The strong defensive half has probably gone, and Dana definitely not afraid. Goes for the early fight. Both come out standing, and this time Graham's peak has worked.
Cover going out.
Yeah, strong B main fight for Zipto. Good containment of the space that was being challenged for up in A heaven as well for Ninetails. All of their early posturing's gotten them nothing. They're effectively back on square one. You could see that they attempted even some deeper mid control, but now the call is just to reset. Group is for push to the side. If they can get in, it's huge. They have a Viper's Pit to lock it down afterwards, and although there's a lot that Zipto can put in response, 4 ultis online, that pit is still going to be a real headache to deal with. But getting there is a different story. There's 3 players in position here. Zipto have made the right read, right time, right place. With Full Moon on 13 HP, oh, even the showstopper is going to be put in. That'll certainly swing the round into their hands. I mean, Sammy would need a godlike performance, and it won't be happening today. 5-2 for Zipto, and they do that, saving most of their ults. I mean, I don't even mind the showstopper going through.
I think
just
they used Evolution as well.
Oh, they did? Oh.
Yeah, that was thrown in. That was the one that perplexed me a little bit. it was towards the end of the round, but I guess, again, just wanting to make sure that conversion comes through.
Negation ready. Trap set.
Either way, second round credits still pretty good for Ninetails. Sure, it'll be 3-3-2 struggling a little bit in terms of the finances. This will be the big start, though. At early operator, a lot of utility being expended, though, should leave Yuumi without any vision. Has to try and reposition.
Paranoia's being dodged on site. Capricious catches Dana, but her back turned, and Sammy's in the ground as well. The re-swing a little bit much, biting off more than she can chew, and now the Viper's Pit's going to be in play, but the Steel Garden put in. Yumi's up close, but won't find anything. Full Moon with a headshot delivered. The pit didn't even have an effect. Haste won't be expected here in the late round, but with that pit down, now we're in trouble on the site. Ever put under that pressure, but delivering is Khan from that sideline. A third for Zipto. It's a bit of a crazy round with a lot invested, but Ninetails again going to be stopped. That's 3 in a row for the defense.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe the coach had words directly for Capricious, because ever since then she has stepped up, feeling confident in herself. But it was the kill there from Paiti, just running through, taking out the pit, and it still came very close at the end. Haste on the late lurk with a good opportunity. That streak of 5 diminished now to just 2 in the lead. Still a purchase. There is a stinger in the mix. Dana has been struggling, but that's a great shot.
And another from Full Moon. So they go towards the A side here. I can see the Heaven control being taken. They know that Khan's been playing here a lot with the operator now in hand. They can play this one nice and slow. I mean, a minute 15 on the clock.
Con shot the decoy as well.
And flank control being contained by the the Vice wall, rather. Not the Viper wall. It's not going to contain much. I like this idea. Just pump brakes, cover every angle, and know that Zipto are the ones that have to make a move. Being 2 players behind, but well, that clock is running down, and Zipto not showing anything to the attackers. Eventually, the gamble's going to have to be taken.
Yeah, with 2 players in the right place, though.
Watching
Like,
here.
there's not many ways that they could win this, but this is definitely one of them. Flank also about to come in. Flash has been spotted with the spam. Starts to do a little bit of damage. Con's done well, though. Buying some time. Capricious with another. That flank still coming in, but it might be denied by the wall. A push through the smoke would be a gamble, but 25 seconds, it's patient from Graham's. Already taking down another. This was a 3v5 just moments ago, and Capricious has got one more, still continuing that run of form. Haste had a nice attempt in the last, is looking for it once again, 70 HP, but doesn't know where that second player is just yet. Capricious has been making that slow move around, looking to group up. Graham's maybe going alone, it's the spam, and it is Haste! A Red Bull clutch to save them. That round almost slipped away, but for her.
Oh, that was a big play. 10-5 for Haste as well. I mean, it's been a good map overall, but that one there was Zipto's foot in the door. Their way back into this half. And maybe even to, you know, keep their economy in play, keep the chances of an even or even a victorious half in play.
Guys! Our idea got...
But Haste just on fire in that play. And it's that fire that keeps Ninetails' brittle heart warm. They came in as the underdogs, a squad that people didn't expect much from. Up against Zipto in the past, it's what, 5 out of 6 maps have gone the way of Zipto? And yet here they are. A probable lead at the half with an eco that they're up against again, though it's going to be an individual with a rifle taking on the pistols. It doesn't go as badly as before. Full moon down, but nobody there to pick up that rifle with Con in the ground. It's a 4v2. And up against the Sheriffs. They won't let this one slip.
Gonna fall back here.
Also, just gonna go for info. Even a little stun thrown in, just to make it a bit worse for Capricious. No chance in this scenario, and Dana back to feeling confident once again, back to her feet as well. 7-3. The 3-round streak of Zipto coming to an abrupt end after that 1v2. Although they'll have a purchase, they are playing just to get themselves closer to their opponent. They've already lost the first half.
So I'm looking out at the stage every time as well, Tom, and there it is. Yeah, you actually get to see it in the replay. Sammy keeps standing up every time they went around. She's looking across the stage. She's asking them what they're doing, why they're doing it, and what time they want to fly tomorrow. Ninetails 7 on the board. The attack side shaping up really nicely. Is this play to backside from Sam? Sammy seems to have flown completely under the radar. The dimensional drift got them the position, and now the play into heaven is caught. A big catch by Graham's. That's given Zipto a chance.
Yeah, of course, for Full Moon, she wanted a little bit more than one, but the slight hesitation was enough for a trade. Eva just goes pushing, though. Tries to end the round on her own, but it will just be the trade once again. A stun perfectly placed to allow a 1v1 for Dana. She's been winning those. The wraparound comes in again, and it's left all onto Yuumi. Now knowing, well, where one of her opponents is, needs to win this fight, and does. May be able to just get that defused at least to half. It's going to have to be the move to TP across, but it is quick enough for a 3-3-2. An 8th round onto the board, largely because of her. And a dominant looking half out from Ninetails.
I think it's almost scarier when Sammy isn't on her feet after getting that 3K. Just looked locked in. Such a big catch by Graham. There was no chance for this. If that flank was allowed to complete, you have 1 or maybe even more kills coming off the back of it. And right there, it felt, though, at the end like Yuumi had a chance. That TP, if it was faked out, could have seen the round fall apart and fall into the hands of Zipto. Instead, a lead guaranteed by at least 4. Ninetails looking for that little bit extra. Drop down from Dana's good, and Capricious completely caught off guard. No punish from heaven. As Zipto's player sent straight to hell. The wraparound from Dana as well. It's not being watched. It's a freebie. 9-3 at the halftime. They're on their feet again. And Zipto just a few rounds from being sent home.
적군이 플레이.
Well, this game's not over yet, Tom, but how far from over? Well, that's what we're about to find out. 9 on the board for Ninetails. They have looked unbelievable in that first half. As we get into our Coinbase Econ report, no surprise, it's Dana, especially with those last few rounds, who is our highlight.
Yeah, the 16-year-old has been flying high. A lot of openers. There was a little bit in the middle of the map where I was like, okay, maybe this is going to fall apart, and she came right back swinging once again. And I'll be honest, other than just some of the individual diff we've seen, the comp diff looks crazy. Like, they had such easy entries in with that double duelist, and I've not really seen anything in terms of the denial of that pace. It might be a little bit more difficult to run those same sort of executes when it comes to the defensive side, so that might be the hope for Zipto, but I hope they've got some ideas, because in that first half, they kind of got blitzed.
Without a doubt. And I think on that defense, for me at least, that's where Vito's going to bring a lot of the value, and it didn't look like there was much, I mean, especially against this composition. Ninetails often getting past that ability before throwing down Dana's stun, and for Zipto, his pistol, it could be everything. They're starting it towards this A site, where it looks like it will be a pretty passive hold from Ninetails, even when challenged. I just expect Ever to back off. Their game plan on the defense was that there'd be a fight around B or mid, so they're most likely going to have to play that retake.
Opportunity to get into the post bomb, but I really don't mind it. I said it would be difficult to try those executes. Well, they are going to try those executes. They're going to go for a 5v5 retake. Definitely going to be a little bit more difficult with all of the personnel ready and waiting on the other side. Righty, the first point of contact has been a rough map for her, and it's not getting any better. Slowed as well was Con. Yuumi, though, at least bringing a little bit back, trying to fight this one forward into a 2 versus 2. As she now goes down and getting a little bit more troublesome for that defense. They are desperately low. Graham still going forward. Only one more left to find. Within the smoke she is. And that's the lifeline grasped with both hands. Graham's with a triple to give them a 4th.
Graham's with a much-needed triple indeed. I mean, if that goes the other way, we're already thinking about booking flights, but for Zipto, they've still got a chance in this one. The pistol round is theirs. I expect a big investment coming into the next. And I guess, you know, the thing is, though, for Ninetails, as we've said a couple times, when it comes to double duelists,
Let's go, Leon! Let's go, Leon! Let's go, Leon!
maybe we expected to do better in this meta, than it did in the previous in terms of putting up those attacking rounds. But the reality is, it still has a lot to say on this defense. Zipto, they need to avoid what has been a pretty big part of this series so far, which is those low buys having high impact. And with the investment they've made, a couple of picks for Ninetails will end up having an effect.
Well, yeah, I also want to see if they're going to mirror what they did in the pistol and play a lot of retake because of how strong that double dive is. So I'll be interested. Nice shot already, though. 3-3-2 with the start. With a fairly heavy investment. Guns across the board. Zipto really can't afford too many more casualties, and they're now walking into the stack.
Right into it. The flash is faded already. This is going to be so dangerous with Yumi. Dropped so easily. And now, Full Moon strikes from the side! Graham's another big play needed, and nothing will be found. A MasterCard Thrifty! A nail in the coffin and dirt piled on top. Ninetails! That's so much better than winning the pistol. That feels like the beginning of the end of Zipto. In Game Changers Championship.
That couldn't have gone any worse. Like, you full invest into 5 guns, and then you lose to what is a Sheriff and some classics, and you give all of those guns over to the other side. That is painful. And while the judge didn't have any impact on one side, I'd almost guarantee it may on this. Look at where Full Moon's currently playing and who's pushing up.
A judge in the smoke. Nasty stuff against the Eco. It's just gonna farm. A spray from Hayes to help out, and Full Moon. I thought for a second she was in danger, but very much the danger herself. 11-4 in flawless fashion. And for Zipto, if they go down like this, the memory of today is gonna linger like a tattoo's kiss. This is devastating, and a timeout coming in from the attackers as they know this is their last chance here in Seoul.
Let's say I cancelled my appointment to see this game. Well, I hope, as probably a lot of the people are here, you are a Ninetails fan, because if so, that was a good choice. If you're one of the few Zipto that travel, then maybe it's a bad day for you. 11-4. Operator in, economy, as we already mentioned, through the roof. A hefty lead of 7 rounds, and the chance for an all-Korean team to taste victory at the Game Changers Championship. For someone as young as Dana, that is a dream that many have to wait a long, long time. Doing it at 16 would be incredibly impressive, but it's a young team overall. A lot to look forward to in the future, but potentially a lot to look forward to right now. The team that bested them both times they met in Pacific, looking wounded. The question is, after the pause, do they have enough to get back up? Because as I said, those Zipto tactical pauses have nearly always been followed by a victory. They have to be followed by a victory now, otherwise this game is over.
Even then, there were a couple times followed by a victory and then an immediate resurgence. This has to be the start of something special for Zipto. Ninetails managed 12 in a row over on Pearl, so it's not like it's impossible. But what we've seen so far, certainly not promising. Rifles for the attackers. Everybody towards this B site. Graham's already making a play! A big play from Graham's! It's giving them the leg up, and it looks like they're gonna sweep the feet out from under Ninetails. A 2 versus 4. Dana running it down, doing damage, but not finding the kill. Haste, though, is quick to convert with Yumi down. And with Con low, the one thing playing in her favor is that the AWP is in her hand. That one-shot weapon looking up top for a kill. In fact, holding that wraparound up close is Piety, but now tag desperately low as well. It's left into the hands of Dana, but the AWP finally strikes from the back corner. A close round, though, nonetheless, and we need to see these continue to fall into Zipto's favor.
Yeah, unfortunately, the coach of Zipto can't take a pause every single round, so that was the last, in fact, that he's going to be able to take.
Gone cold.
Unless they can force Ninetails to make one of their own. Of course,
Sweet dreams, ass.
the purchase still going to be coming back up. I was looking at the HUD, wondering if it had broken, because we have an almost identical buy once again. They kept the judge, they brought it up once more. Clearly something Full Moon wants to be using, but just happened to be delivered in round number 2.
They've heard the off ringing out towards B main. For Zipto, a clear idea to not feed those kills to Sammy. And oh, you saw it there. They knew there was a player in the corner. The grab wall was about to pull Full Moon out, but the judge has repositioned. Sat up close in heaven. And just around the corner, stuck now is Yumi's completely surrounded, but the jump is very much there for Zipto, very much there for Yumi. Expects the second player, but doesn't catch the kill. Haste does really well to convert that, and now they go walking back into the operator. It's a collateral for Sammy. Shaking her head, telling them they're not getting onto her site. Graham's the last one alive, and not for long. Ninetails, the underdog, the home crowd favorite, with 7 chances to close out not just this map, but this series, and not just defeat Zipto, a team here at GCC, but a team who have defeated them every step of the way. 2 for 2, best of 3, best of 5, and what a time it would be for history to tell a different story.
Well, the coach is having fun. I love the fact that 332 has just used the dimensional drift. Like, she genuinely doesn't give a damn about that ultimate. We'll throw it in whenever she can, post-round, post-game. Don't know if it's going to come back to haunt her at all, ever. The first, and potentially the last round. Look at the buy that's come up for Zipto, and she's managed to get one more before falling back. Everybody on Ninetails wants a piece of the pie, wants a piece of that first victory. Grams has spotted one, but can't hit the shot. The reaction from Full Moon, and the remaining 2 will fall like flies. It is Ninetails to win versus an opponent they struggled before.